A 15-year-old boy sits in his bedroom and types a single command. The response comes back in under a second. He is inside. The National Security Agency sits on 350 acres. It employs somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000 people. Its budget is classified. Its internal network processes intercepts from satellites, undersea cables, and listening posts on 6 continents. In 2001, it is also running on outdated infrastructure, legacy systems, unpatched servers. The boy's name is Jonathan James. He is from Miami, Florida. His father introduced him to computers early. By 13, he is probing networks for weaknesses, the way other kids probe video games for cheat codes. Methodically, patiently. By 15, he has already breached the Department of Defense's Defense Threat Reduction Agency. He read internal emails, sensitive ones. He was inside for weeks before anyone noticed. He does not stop there. He pivots to NASA. He downloads 1.7 gigabytes of source code from the International Space Station's life support software. NASA takes 21 computers offline to investigate. The shutdown costs $41,000. Then comes the NSA. He installs a backdoor on a Defense Department server that routes communications through NSA systems. The backdoor captures usernames and passwords as they move across the network. Over 33,000 messages are intercepted. 19 employee passwords are harvested. Some of those employees hold sensitive clearances. He does this at 15 from his bedroom, on a consumer internet connection. Federal investigators trace the intrusions over several months. The trail is methodical. Logs, IP addresses, timestamps, the specific signature of the backdoor code. In January 2000, agents from the Department of Justice and NASA arrive at his home in Miami. He is 16 years old. He does not run, he cooperates. Because James is a juvenile, the federal system handles him differently. He is sentenced to 6 months of house arrest. He must write letters of apology to NASA and the Department of Defense. He is prohibited from using computers recreationally. He violates the terms. He is caught using drugs and accessing the internet. He serves 6 months in a juvenile detention facility. He walks out still a teenager. The case becomes a landmark. Not because it is the most sophisticated intrusion ever recorded, it is not, but because of what it reveals. The NSA, with its classified budget and its layered security, had employee credentials harvested by a child with no team, no backing, no resources, just time and a terminal window. In congressional testimony after the breach, officials describe it with careful bureaucratic language. A 15-year-old read internal communications at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. A 15-year-old held source code for systems keeping astronauts alive. A 15-year-old harvested passwords from people whose job is keeping secrets. The NSA has never publicly confirmed the full extent of what James accessed. Jonathan James dies in May 2008. He is 24 years old. The cause is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the time of his death, he is under investigation in connection with a separate case, the TJX hack, in which 45 million credit card numbers were stolen from retail networks. He denies involvement in a note he leaves behind. He writes that he has no faith in the justice system. His co-suspects are eventually convicted. James is never charged. The NSA has since rebuilt significant portions of its internal architecture. New authentication systems, new access controls, new monitoring built specifically to catch the kind of lateral movement James used. But the agency that could not stop a 15-year-old in 2001 is the same agency that a federal court found in 2023 had unlawfully searched its own communications database 278,000 times. The infrastructure changed. The backdoor James installed was active for several months before detection. Investigators confirmed it was removed. What they have never confirmed is whether it was the only one.